This is the 999 ASMR Tarot, and we are doing a paint night Saturday night, and we're going to be beginning with this paper mache thing I made last night. Well, we're going to do this one tonight, but what we're going to start with first is to put a clear coat of gesso over the whole thing. Now, this is not quite dry yet, but we're going to start first by pulling the, it isn't dry at all, but we're going to pull this off, the mask off of the cellophane. And so if you're watching this on the replay for sleep aid, feel free to turn the speed up to like 1.25 or 1.5 or whatever speed facilitates an autonomous meridian sensory response. And this was the mask that I used as the mold for this thing last night. Oh, the tape is coming off, but that's okay. I can always put the tape back on at a later date. Oh, and I forgot to introduce myself. I am Random Guy. I'm just some random guy on YouTube. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. I'm some random guy on YouTube, and hello Amanda, welcome to the spectacle. Well, thank you very much. So we're gonna start. This is my handsome picture, right? My picture of me, self-portrait from last night. I'm gonna work on this, and I'm gonna try and stay in character with this voice, a soft voice, not quite a Bob Ross voice, but a tonight's voice. But we're gonna start by adding gesso onto this face. Pour it out real nice and slow. We need some goo like this for the paint to stick. It should clear up. It should be clear. I will have enough time there will be enough time for this to dry good enough. Because after this, we're going to try another ocean scene. And this is the example I'm going to be using. An art teacher from the Delphinian School, fellow that I like his work. And this is my ocean scene example. It's really nice. It's just simple. I also have an ocean scene right over there. Oh, thank you. Oh, you saw the art I sent to Karen, and yes, thank you. Yeah, well, I do cards. I do Christmas cards. It took my friend Carla up in Seattle. It took her like 2 years of pushing for me to actually make a actual Christmas card, because Christmas is my least favorite holiday. I think I put a little too much gesso on here. Well, thank you for that vote. I don't necessarily feel that talented. I just am I like to do this, and I just do it. Oh, I hit the camera again. And you know what? You know what's so totally amazing? What's totally amazing today, Amanda, is that this afternoon, when I did the card draw for this stream, I shuffled my Toth deck for the very first time, and I spread the cards out, and then the one that my hand was attracted to was this one here. Art, temperance, when two things come together to form a new thing. And that was like totally amazing. That was my card. I was asking the tarot what would the flavor of this art be tonight. And so I used that to create the thumbnail and the title as well. The thumbnail being entering into the wild unknown. And that's kind of how I feel about this mask here. Like it is taking a step into the wild unknown. Well, hello, Brooke. Thank you very much. You just joined in to say hi. Thank you. Don't forget to like. Yeah. Well, I got it in the fall. I got it last fall. Yeah, so I wasn't quite sure how I thought about it. I also picked up two new release decks this year. And so like that this is one of them, the mini Solo Busca. I have no intentions of ever reading with this one, with this deck. But I love the low sky barrel boxes on these small mini decks. And so that's like my second mini deck for Low Scarbeo. This is my other Low Scarbeo mini deck. And so this is like my real true nudie deck that I have. I'm never going to read with that one either. But you know, the ones that I do read with are the Morgan Greer and the Morgan Greer deck, the Radiant Rider-Waite. I have this other one called the Y-Spell. It's a RWS clone. And the other one that I read with is the Lightseer. I like that one. I'm not sure, like I said before, I'm not so sure that I like the no, I correct it. The one that we were on the show together Thursday. I like the deck, but I don't think that I'll ever read with it. But who knows what will happen in the future. Yeah, I like the mini decks a lot. But you know, I bought decks for references. So I have a full size 1909 tarot for reference. Then you know, there was a Heaven and Earth tarot kit that was on sale, and I bought one of those last fall, summer, kind of like right after Christmas, or right around that time. And that one is I think that one's AI as well, but it's different. I don't know. I really don't know what if it is. Oh shoot! I put this gesso right on my camera phone because my nose is itching up the storm here. And so, anyways, itchy nose. Yeah, it does have a lot of. It is really. It's an intriguing deck. I've been using it for writer's prompts on my Saturday Sunday Write Lab. You know, I think that. But after Thursday, I have a new found appreciation for it, and I'm really looking forward to the part two panel on that deck. And so I'm going to put a little bit more of this gesso on here. And yeah, that was so illuminating. Um, that was really an illuminating experience. So you have a mini of it, yeah, yeah. Well, I got the big one. I got it for like $24, and so I have that book with it. So at this stage, in this stage of my journey with tarot, I'm intending to, when I do buy decks, I'm buying the kits as well. But I'm not getting any more tarot decks this year unless I come into some money or something like that. The other one on my list is the aquarium. Um, so what I'm going to do now is, so yeah, you have to check out to see what's on sale. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to go move on to doing while this while the gesso begins to dry a bit on it. And yeah, it's not like I can go out and on a spending spree and buy a whole lot of things without an income. That's that's kind of it's kind of not. I think instead of putting a tape down, what this was as a piece of paper was. This project is. I'm gonna do something like this. Something like that. I want to go to the ocean, but this is a piece of paper that used to be. It's not quite. It's not painting paper, but it's a real waxy paper that you might find like in a package of undershirts or socks or something like that. I'm going to put in here a horizon line, and this is just a practice painting. You know, and if you live close, like one of the persons who came into my chat once, I actually gave her the painting that I did that day. I think we'll use this brush here, and so I've got some water over here. We'll take this and put it out of the way. And just make a sky nice. I'm going to add a little bit of fluorescent blue to it. A lot of this titanium white. Yeah. I don't live very far from the ocean. Every where I live, every grocery store is the same distance away. It's a 30-minute drive to every grocery store that has good prices. And the coast is also a 30-minute drive away. So it's gonna just kind of put this in here. Nice, nice sky, clouds. Bring in the clouds there. Yeah. The ocean is just so revitalizing. It seems that there might be some scientific evidence that is true, that that it has something to do with ions. And just going to have some gentle sort of horizontal type lines here. A little bit lighter. Some clouds. Just some happy clouds high in the sky. Maybe just a tad bit of red. We'll just sort of blend this in so it gets kind of a purpley color. Distant red. Red sunlight reflecting behind you. Maybe I'll put some land back over here. I did learn something from it. I did. I learned a lot from it actually. Yeah, it was very illuminating. And I think I'm gonna do a show with Ramon soon. This month, I think. No, not this month. The next month coming up. Just a little bit more of this red in here. That might have been too much, but it's okay. We're gonna put this in here. It's in the water. And I might put some land in the distance. What made it illuminated? Well, one, it was just I don't have anybody where I live to actually talk about thing like tarot at all. There are people that I can talk about spiritual matters and things like that, but nobody that I can literally talk about. And so that was like the first time I really talked about tarot with anybody. So that was one of the things that kind of made it illuminating. I'm going to put a little land clear out there. Let's go change out the brushes. I'm not sure which brush I want to use. Maybe I'll use this watercolor brush. It's probably not the right brush to use, but we'll use some of this color here, mix it down with some of this. we'll add some of this red to it, and that'll just kind of give it a more of a brownish tone, toned down brown. And if I add a little bit of blue, I can make it kind of gray, grayish colored. So that was the one thing. The biggest thing was that just to be able to talk to somebody about the tarot. A little bit more toned down. Can add some of this titanium white. A little bit more of this red. And so off in the distance, kind of an island. Maybe I need some black. Yeah. A little bit of this black here. Oh, just mix it right on the paper. Just a little bit of a land in the background. Long ways away. Far away land. You know, everyone's seen a painting something like this. Far away land, kind of like that. And then we're going to want to bring up some land that's up closer. Some up closer land. So with our beachy, kind of a beachy environment here. Not exactly the right kind of brush for this, but you know, even the paper, it gives kind of some interesting effects because it's kind of grabby. The paper's kind of grabby. It's a little waxy, and it's sort of grabbing the paint and getting some interesting effects here. Well, hello, Christo. 30855. Yes, the Bob Ross stream. Do I sound like? I don't think I sound like Bob Ross tonight, but yeah. Welcome. So while I'm just here doing this practice painting here while the gesso is drying up a little bit on the mask that the paper mache face that I made last night. And then we'll add some of this titanium white on here. Just kind of bring that in. More water. Just kind of smooth it out. Now it's too soupy wet here. The Bob Ross stream. Maybe I'm going to add a little bit of yellow on here. Because, you know, the sun is behind you. And sun, you might feel just a little bit of some yellow, sunny highlights there. Just some hints of that. And we're going to go back to the other brush. And add in just some more oceany. Maybe a little darker because we are just a little darker here. Some of this fluorescent blue. Can't really tell, but You'd only tell if you were to take a scan of this when it's at dry that there'd be zones where no color would come forth. And so we're just going to pull this color right on to the beach. Just be some gentle waves. Gentle waves. Nothing too, the surface just gentle today. Clear and glass. Just kind of a little bit of foam coming up. A little bit of foam. You know, it's easy to get hung up on what you think this should look like, but you know what? It just doesn't matter, because we're here to relax and oh, you can see it really clearly. Great, 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 Amanda. And I'm so happy that you're here too tonight. And you can see clear off in the distance here. You can see some white sands clear over here, and a little bit of water coming up against some dunes off in the distance. Just a little bit there. Yeah. Yeah. Let's put a little bit more of this white in here. It's kind of like a haze over here. So maybe this is a sea scene or in a bay. Oh, you want one of my paintings? Yeah. Well, one of the things that I'm doing here, Amanda, is I'm practicing the ocean scene. I'm going to turn my camera around here just a little. There's an ocean scene right here. And that's one of the last larger size ocean scenes. But if I run away for just a second, will you just hang out here, and I hope that I don't lose all my viewers. I'm going to come and bring a painting out. Okay. This here is the last real ocean scene that I've done, and I did this in 2019. This is my favorite painting. It took me over 6 months to do this painting, and I started with the skyline, and that was actually pretty fast. Then I did 6 months of study to do the rest. So what I'm doing here is practicing so I can do I have a 15 by 30 wood birch canvas. Birch panel canvas, and I'm going to do an ocean scene that's similar to that, but with some bigger waves on it. And I'm hoping to do that in August or September. But in the meantime, this is what I'm doing. I'm practicing the ocean scene to figure out what kind of ocean scene I want to do on that canvas. And so it's like I'm not going to um, even lay a brush down on that canvas without first having painted at least 3 or 4 different scenes that I might possibly want to put on it. And I'll practice with the large pieces of paper that I have. I think they're like 24 by. They're just the pieces of paper are almost the size of this craft table that I'm working on, and so I'm gonna put a little water on here and draw the color in. So yeah. So anyway, that's and we'll add some white on here. I'm almost done with this. Done as I'm gonna be. Just kind of bring in the water. Just bring it in. I'm going to shift gears to the mask. Has some white caps there in the distance. No, just a bit. Some different colors. I think I might want to come back in here with this fluorescent magenta and do some highlights on top of the water. Just here and there. Just little places here and there. Just a few highlights. Go back in here with some white, some pinks and whites, and then some of this yellow too, because that was in there too. Because you remember, the sun is behind you. Sun is behind you, and it's making, it's illuminating in the distance. Illuminating the distance. So just a little bit here and there. Reflecting off the surface of the water. And a little bit off in the sky. Just the hints. Just barely little hints of yellow. And red. And red too. But you want to do the yellow highlights in the sky after things have dried a bit, because otherwise your sky is going to turn green. And there's nothing worse than having a green sky. But this color here, cloud, it's kind of high up cloud. Got some color in it, some red. Just reflect that in the sky. And there we have it. One practice painting done in less than 30 minutes. Okay. I guess that's dry. I'm going to just move this aside. And I'm going to bring back the wild, unknown face. So I'm not quite sure what I was going to do, but this afternoon I was like thinking about this. I was thinking about just the prospect of it's not dry back there. I'm going to have to put this in the sun for another day, but I was thinking of the prospects of leaving the newsprint stuff as newsprint, and then just painting the pinkish construction paper. And I don't really know what color this is going to be either, so we're just going to try something. We start in here. Got some So, all right. This is the part about the. This is the part of the process that I'm gonna make. I want to make it more purpley, where I sometimes stress over because I have to allow myself to be more open to a story, and you don't quite know what you're gonna do, and so you have to rely on going into yourself. It's kind of like beating your head against the wall or something. We'll just start doing, and then something will come out of the start doing. Just start doing. And darker colors. Kind of like beating your head against the wall. The other card I got when I did this, my pre-stream card draw was the Queen, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Knight of Rods. Contentment in your wealth, plus this desire to go off into the unknown art. The unknown. Make a jump out into the unknown. And that is where we're at right now. Kind of putting in the color and back in here a little bit more of this. Just layer the color. Kind of sort of a jumpy motion. Jumpy. $10 off din. I want to leave that word in there. So, Amanda, did you say that you write poetry and do stuff like that? I thought I heard that you said that you did that. I know that there's a function in doing lives on a mobile app that you can bring a guest into the stream in this vertical stream mode, and maybe you would like to come on a stream with me and we write poetry together. Yes. So why maybe we could like not do you work on Sundays? You must work swing shift, don't you? Because you're up at this late at night. Maybe we can do a writing session together, and we can use the tarot in question, the as prompts. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We want to. I'm going to turn this around here so I can just sort of find a rhythm here. A rhythm where this goes into. Yeah. Okay. So you're a night owl. Yeah. I'm a night owl because I look after, well, my mother is 84, um and after she had COVID a couple times, it really knocked her down a bit, and so it's the at night is the only time I have for myself after she goes to bed. But then, of course, I'm like worried about her all night long, usually until I get to sleep. And yeah. Hmm. I don't think I'm intentionally making this look like the person has been battered and blued and whatnot. Yeah. I can come up with the prompts in advance or not. I'm just going to do an initial covering of going over these things. I go out here and I take this stuff here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. It's like I just after I lost Dad 12 years ago, I really, you really hang on. You hang on to that. You really hang on tight. I hang on tight. And she wasn't feeling that well tonight. And but yeah. Yeah, well, yeah, I know. It's so hard. It's so hard. I see. So you get your alone time at night. Do you work from home, Amanda? Mm. And this is just the initial coat here. Oftentimes these things they become something else after you put down a layer of paint. Yeah. Where this if you were to take a look at what I have here, my so you've been a homemaker, but you're looking for a job right now and have to you do private readings from home, but nothing at the moment. Okay, so you're going to start a business. Yeah. What I've thought about doing was, but I don't know if my confidence is nowhere near where it would need to do would be to um do a card reader on the psychic hotlines, unless of course I can somehow miraculously jack myself up to like 100,000 subs on this channel, and then I know that I don't even know if that's possible. Maybe it's possible. Hmm. Yeah. So what kind of business are you going to do? Will it be a tarot a tarot business, or will it be something more practical? Or well, not that it's not practical, but you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Okay, real estate. Okay, all right. Yeah. Though doing sales like that is probably is pretty hard. I mean, I've worked for tips before, but I've never worked for straight commissions. I've had the opportunity a few times to do straight commissions. Okay, I see. A broker. Hmm. Hopefully you won't. They won't be broke. Yeah. So then, are you a gifted salesperson, Amanda? Yeah. But you see, down in the South where you live, it's the minimum wage is way less. So when I did the casino work and I was, um, that was a really good gig, except that my bosses were all sociopaths, it seemed. But you know how to sail, so yeah. My sister is a gifted salesperson, or she was before the MS. When she has that, and MS has not been all that kind to her, and then yeah. But the taxes are a lot higher out here. That's one thing. The taxes are higher. Gonna put this back in here. Go back and get some more of this fluorescent blue. Because it makes such a lovely shade of purple when you add the fluorescent magenta into that fluorescent blue. Hmm. Yeah, it is. And the hardest part about it for her is that it's that is getting pain meds, and the doctors these days are such Puritans because the opioid crisis and crap, and they don't prescribe. Oh, we're worried about you becoming a junkie, so we're not gonna prescribe any pain meds for you, or you're gonna get a limited number of pain meds, and but what she's found is that if you get enough pain meds, if you get the right amount of pain meds, and then you just keep walking and you keep moving, then you can have quite a nice quality of life. But it just requires the medical establishment doesn't believe. They have this belief that MS is a disease that doesn't have pain. It's a pain-free disease. Oh, so you shoot pool and you are bowl at the semi pro level, huh? That sounds like fun. I used to bowl. Um, I had a yeah. I had organized. Yeah, yeah. When I was working at the casino, I organized bowling for my day off. My day is off when for the last what from it was like 2016, 17, 18, and 19 were on Monday and Tuesdays. And so for a while there, I had organized with other people who had Mondays and Tuesdays off to go bowling on Monday nights. And I see raised in a bowling alley. Yeah. Well, I got to a point where I was getting a really high score of like 90 points in any given match, any game. That was like the highest score I've ever got was 90 points. So your mom was asked to join the pro tour. Well, that's cool. Huh. I think I'm gonna paint my horns here. Oh, hit the camera again. Stop camera. I think that these horns should be... Oh, stop hitting the camera, Bill. So you got a talent or gift for bowling. That's cool. I don't know. I think that this should be... The horn should be a bright color. I think I need to raise the camera up a bit. I am not athletically gifted at all in anything. However, I am really good at social dancing. So you started shooting pool when you're 11, and you've been playing and competing at every. So you. I gotta raise this thing up a bit. I have my camera down as low as possible, and I'm gonna raise the whole thing up. I keep hitting it here. There. There we go. I can still see the chat here, so a little bit better. I like it when it's lower down, but it's... So coming up here. So psychedelics run in your... I mean, psychics run in your family? Yeah. On my father's side, and in the Swedish Vikings is where on my father's side, that's where I get it. I'm not really... I haven't really tuned it much, but I'm sensitive. I have a sensitive. I'm sensitive to things, and I'm sensitive to... I'm really sensitive to a lot of things. I don't like chaos. That's one of the things I really just don't like is chaos. I can't handle chaos at all. And come in and put this red in here. Yeah, just using up all the paint right now. Fortunately, I'm not going to be able to use those paints. I have too much of that down here. Yeah. Yeah. Now, my sister, on the other hand, somehow she just thrives in chaos. I think my dad was that way too. I think it's despite the fact that she has MS, she has this amazing energy level. I don't know. I just and which is why, you know, a lot of people, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, okay, I like the idea that this is like the color rocks. Yeah. Hmm. Drama and yeah, I think this is the perfect job for this perfect brush for this job. But I can like remember I had these experiences starting when I was like really young. The first one was I was like 3, and my baptism was, I don't know, undescribable experience. But so I've had other undescribable experiences. I think that's where that psychic sensitivity comes in. Know things. You kind of know things. So you don't understand how people can be happy at a constant rate unless they are helping. I think what it is with the people who are is that they have their feeling knob is kind of turned down a little bit. It's the attention deficit hyperactive disorder thing. The folks with that, and they require constant action in order to feel anything. I think that's kind of what it is. And I'm gonna come and put this on here. You know, it doesn't really matter at this point in time what we're doing because we're still just adding layers, trying to find my way into the wild unknown. Yeah, that's what I mean. Attention, attention. Did a deer just walk by my window? Or am I just imagining things? Yeah. So it's an hour. I've been in this thing an hour. I was probably am going to. Well, I'm gonna cut it off as soon as I use up all these paints and I figure out what I'm gonna do with these other paints. So this is just the first draft on this thing. Maybe some different colors. Feels like a river coming down here. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta start painting Christmas cards soon. The way I have enough for everybody who wants them. Okay, I'm going to try to make something like the color of rocks. You're starting to look like a skull for that one holiday. How it's called something else. Well, I think it was a funerary mask, a funerary thing, like a funeral mask or something like that. I don't know. Um, Funnery. I mean, uh, Ramon came into my chat last night when I was making this, and he asked me if I'd done a funerary mask before, but I hadn't. I didn't know what the word meant. Uh, so is there going to be anything good on the Olympics this year? I mean, as far as I like the skateboarding, and I think they have bowling, don't they, for um, the Olympics as well? I think that this color here kind of make it more like rocks or something. Ears over here. Yeah, I know. I think he would know what you were talking about. 'Cause he's just like right in there with that for being Puerto Rican of hmm. So are you also of um I see you don't keep up with the Olympics. So do you also what was I gonna say? Are you also of like Catholic extraction? It almost seems like I'm making pointy ears here. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this here. It's giving a more of a earthy kind of an earthy tone texture here. I mean, were you raised Catholic, or do you have that in your roots? That's what I mean. When I was younger, I used to be really good at guessing a person's the person their religious tradition, what they came out of, and hmm, let's see. My ears are uneven. Is that what you said? Your mom was Mormon, but she didn't practice. Your dad was raised Baptist, and mom Buddhist. Okay, okay, I see. Mormon and Baptist and Buddhist. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, yeah. Who are Catholic and other religions? I'm a very open person to all religions. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's actually probably so. you're kind of like more in line with where like the founding fathers of this country were at. I mean, where they were like deists, like Thomas Jefferson. Is if he had the choice of atheism, he would have been an atheist or an agnostic. But they were. So for anyone who comes out and says that the founding fathers were deeply religious, they actually don't really. I don't. I think they're just full of shit because it's that those folks they saw they saw many of them saw the theocracy that existed in Massachusetts from my people, which were Puritans. On my mother's side, I have Mayflower roots and Congregationalists and Puritans, and those people in Boston, Massachusetts, were in the 1600s and 1700s. I mean, before the United States was a country on its own, Massachusetts was a theocratic state, a theocratic, and and I'm guessing that it was a pretty brutal place too, and those who put this country together, yeah, to be more open. Where else am I going to put the rocks at? I think I'll put the rock color under the eyes, maybe. Actually, these. Hmm, let's see, where are we at? Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. It's interesting. Oh, well, maybe we'll just put some of this rock color down here in the bottom. Maybe we'll make it a little lighter. We'll add a little blue in there to give it some grayness to it. It does. Yeah. Yeah, it kind of does. Because, this is this is the mold I used to build this thing. And this mask I painted like right around the time that in 2020 when we had the whole BLM riots and all that stuff and the George Floyd thing. And so this is like my interpretation of like March, April, May, June of 2020. The COVID and everything. That's that. And so I modeled I I added the paper mache on top of that, and this is what I got. Maybe it's a skull with horns. Maybe that. Yeah, it was. I certainly hope that we don't have another that they. I hope that good triumphs over evil this time. You know. You stay clear of politics. Yeah, I have a hard time avoiding it because it's oh, this is green, kind of some greenish color. Well, let's just put some more of this on. I didn't want to make green, but oh well, we made green. Just a mm, yeah. Well, I suppose down in Florida or Georgia, which is a heavily gerrymandered state. Yeah, yeah, I know. It's all in ourselves. When they ask the question, how would a God allow all this evil in the world? And then I ask the question, why do we allow all this evil in this world? That's really what it comes down to is we are the hand of God. We are the hands of God. We allow evil in this world. Hmm. Let's see. What are we? Yes, and it create. Yeah, because we created this world. God created the universe. He created. He, she, God, Source created the superstructure of everything. This planet for everything for life to exist. But once that life was established, life created this world. Yeah. Created the evil that existed in this world. And like I had this revelation once when I was, and it was actually I was probably in this, even in this very room. This was the room um that I lived in when I was a child. No, it was after I moved out of here. And I think it may have been after I had traveled to Israel as well. And the experience of the experience of being in that land where um, so many people had been praying, and in that spot, that energy locus in that spot of Jerusalem, and the energy that was there was overwhelming, just overwhelming. My experience is that, no, this is us and this is Jesus. But Jesus is us, and this is to be our experience too. Upon realizing or working through our issues, that we too can become transfigured, and we too can be this. That is what the promise is. And salvation as union with God, this is the state of union with God, and it is our goal to have this experience, to have this, to live this reality. We may not maybe the best we get is moments of that transfiguration, glimpses of it. St. James here, he glimpsed it, and he glimpsed that that was what his future was. At least that's what I get out of this. And that's my heresy, is that I saw something different. I've not been the only person of Christian extraction to have had that realization. I wonder if I just can't take this off. I think I can. Oh, this is really delicate down in here. This is not quite dry, but as long as I don't tear the mask apart, that's all that matters, right? Ooh, that's a big piece that just came off. Yeah. So yes, not that, please. Let's get this off of here. All right. Thank you for hanging out with me, Amanda. I really appreciated you being here. I need to get one of those, little cards like that stash guy. My little soapbox. I was going to do that today, too. I'm going to put the remaining balance of the paint on this inside here. And, good night. Good night. And thank you very much for being here tonight. We're just going to put this in here anyway, which way, it doesn't matter. Just using up the paint. I like to do this at the end of the night. Use up the paint. No paint left behind, right? No paint left behind. I wonder how many people clued in. It's a big empty right now. It's probably time to cut the stream off. It's almost at the 90-minute mark. Anyways, that's about it. Just using up the paint. And this is the boring part. It's really boring right now, I suppose. For a short time, I got to be Bob Ross. Now it's just random guy. Random guy with a paintbrush. Just putting the paint in there. All randomly, willy-nilly. No one wants to see this. This is boring. This is a boring video right now. Watching paint dry. There's nothing wild and unknown about it. Nothing. That already happened. The wild unknown happened. All before this time. And here we go. This is... I'm going to clean off this brush here. There's nobody here. It's quiet. It's so quiet. I could hear a mouse fart in the distance. Cleaning off the brushes. Got this stuff here. Can I clean off my hands? Maybe. I can clean off my hands a bit. We'll just see if I can get some of that paint off of there. This is paint night. Like and subscribe if you think it has any value. Obviously, nobody thinks it has any value because there's only one like here. A live stream with no value. But, you know, I shouldn't stick my finger in there. Should I stick my finger in there? Ah, nobody wants to see that. That's okay. We'll put this back. Let's just see what this night was all about before I turn the camera off. This is a teeny tiny tarot deck. And I want to know what the tarot, how the tarot rated this night. Let's take a look here. The Lovers. The Lovers. That's what the tarot said this night was. The lovers were here, there, everywhere, loving each other with their kind words, with their energy, loving each other with the paintbrush, doing a random painting. Lovers. The lovers are out tonight. Let's put the card in the right direction for the next time. Tomorrow afternoon in about 12 hours for poetry. Poetry about America, about what is going on today. Poetry clipped out of a newspaper, glued down on a page, making poetry out of words. Words, 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 words. Poetry out of words. Printed on the page, cut up and pasted back in another order. That is what we're going to do tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific time, because that's where I am broadcasting from. I am broadcasting from Pacific time. Pacific time. The Pacific is just a few miles over there. But tonight, we've had a great night. Lovers, loving each other with their words, with their thoughts, with their deeds, coming together to make art. Two things coming together. Two elements coming together to form something new. A prince and a princess coming together to form a new being. Lovers coming together to form a new being. Two elements coming together to form a new reality. Art. And that is the essence of art. Different elements coming together to form something new. The act of creation happens right here. That is what temperance means in this moment. Or we can just rest in our abundance, be content and happy. And that's right. And that works for a while until you want to go off into the unknown and do something new. And do something new. Two elements combined together. Contentment with your abundance, contentment with your life, with the desire to do something new, to form a new reality. And then we have this. I talked about this just a few minutes ago. St. James looking up at the sky, at the transfigured Christ, the transfigured human being. The transfigured human being, that human that realized what it meant to be a human. And that is who the transfigured Christ is. And that is what our goal is. The Apostle James is pointing to the transfigured Christ. The Apostle James is pointing to the mountain, pointing that way. The deeds and stories and parables that Jesus talks about in the Gospels is the way to become transfigured. That way is through your actions, through your deeds, through your works. It doesn't matter what your religion is. That is not important, but what is important is how you act and behave in this world. That is the message that I see in this. This is the way you go through the apostles, through the disciples, through the learners. And from there, you end up here in that state of union with the source, or within the source. Because that is where Jesus is standing. Jesus is standing in that circle, in that circle, in that circle, in that circle, and that circle is the source of everything. Standing in there, united in there, that is the goal. I will get off my soapbox now. I'll put St. James over here, and my card draw of the day. Here is a wand of lavender and a wand of apple blossom, tree of life, apples. Do not eat the apple from the tree. God said to Adam in the garden, for if you eat from the apple of the tree, you will be cast into your life to begin the journey of forever. That is what happens when you eat of that apple. But I'm going to get off my soapbox now. I'm going to get off my soapbox now and turn the camera off. Good night until the next time. Thank you for being here right now. Sweet dreams, my friends. Sweet dreams. May the Lord bless you and keep you, and keep you free of temptation, and keep you free in that circle of the source.